I'm about to show you one of the most rare and exciting dual cassette decks you have ever seen in your life. This is the Muzak 1600. It is a dual cassette background music system that was designed to be used in hotels and commonly elevators. You know, have you ever heard of elevator music? Well, this is the company that invented elevator music, Muzak. Muzak was purchased by another company years ago. Yesco was one of the companies that owned it. I don't know if they still do. But this particular system is pretty cool. It has a built-in amplifier, so you can connect speakers directly to it. You know, hook it right into the speakers of your eating establishment or store or whatever. And it contains really boring music it's at 15/16 inches per second on 2 cassettes. So essentially you get double the playing time and double again on top of that, because you're taking 4 channels off of this cassette, and then you're cutting it in half as far as the speed at which it plays. And then instead of having stereo left and right for each channel, you have one mono channel. So there's 4 channels on this deck, basically 4 albums, and this particular deck also has a cassette in it that has 4 albums on it. And let me just show you one of the cassettes itself. See, it says Muzak On Location Service, program 73-2, 1600 and 15/16 inches per second. There's nothing on side B. There really isn't a side B, because this machine plays all 4 tracks in one direction, left to right. So it does not play auto reverse. It just simply rewinds and plays the next track. Over here on this side, you have a volume control, and then you have indicators for your left deck and your right deck. And then you have channels or tracks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You have a power control here, turned on there. You have a level control to tell you that your music is actually playing, in case you're in a room that doesn't have speakers. In this little panel that opens up on the front, you can select your tracks from 1 to 8, and you have these controls here: auto start, sequence, earphone, rewind, play, fast forward, and stop. So let's go around on the back so I can show you what's behind the scenes here. Then I'll show you the insides. So on the back here, this is where you connect your speakers to the system. And you have a speed control there, and then you have a bypass control that bypasses the built-in amplifier. And then over here you have your connections for audio, in case you want to use your own amplifier. And you've got some, probably some power transistors, heat sinks there on the back, and then you've got your standard plug, like you plug on the back of your computer. And here's what the guts look like. Big old power transformer there. And then all of this sophisticated circuitry, which I would assume is computer controlled. And what else is really amazing about this thing is that both of these decks have what is known as direct drive mechanisms in them. So your capstan is connected to a motor, your supply spindle and your take-up spindle each have a motor on them. And then you have solenoids, which you can see right there, that actually do the the selecting for you. So it's all soft touch controls. So you're looking at the left deck here, the mechanism in that, and you're looking at the right deck here. Now this machine, which I got off of eBay, has a little bit of smoke odor to it, so it was definitely in an establishment that allowed smoking at that time. And it's kind of a machine that's had a lot of, I would say, probably a ton of hours on it. And it's a little bit goofy as far as the way that it's running. If you don't know what wow and flutter is about, this machine exhibits quite a bit of flutter on this deck too. So if you've never heard flutter before, you're about to hear it. So here, this is how you operate it. And I believe both of these tapes are C120 cassettes, which is a really long, thin tape. And it will play 1 7/8 inches per second tapes as well. So 2XL tapes are recorded that way. If you have a 2XL cassette toy, it was recorded in one direction on 4 tracks, and a 2XL tape would probably play in here just fine. So let's go ahead and hit play and let you hear what the music sounds like coming from this, and a little bit of the mechanism. So we're playing off the left deck here, or deck 1. And then I can go over here and select a different track by hitting the track button. This machine was made in the 1980s. So a lot of the music on here is covers of 1980 songs that are done with music only, instrumentals. There's no singing on these tapes. There's a Judd song. So we're going to switch it over to the right deck, and this is where your flutter is going to come in. If I can even get it to run. Yeah. If it has trouble, it just switches right back over to the left deck, and then it just continues on over there. So, and then it's not going to let me go back to that deck. Alright, so let's do this. Let's hit stop. I'm going to take this tape out. And I'm going to insist that it think I put in a new tape on this side. And then I'm going to try to play it again here. And I think the motor, there it goes. I think the motor is just about shot on this right deck. Doesn't that sound great? So now I'm going to put the left tape back in, and we'll see if it'll let us include that one again. There it goes. From track 4 to 5, with track 5 being on the right deck. Well, this thing, just poor thing, just doesn't want to go. So there's our track 5, track 6, 7, 8, and then back to 1 again. And you want to hear it played really fast? We can do that by switching the speed on the back. So I definitely paid way too much for this deck off of eBay, but I was really interested in these cassettes here that have 5 gazillion hours of music playback on them. But like I said, I just think this thing is wore out. It sort of works when it wants to. It'll play regular cassettes as well. But it will only play the first side of them, I guess, and then you would have to flip the other side over to play it. And of course, track 1 and track 2 are both going to be the same song, because track 1 would be the left channel, track 2 would be the right channel for side 1, and then 3 and 4 would be left and right on the other side of the tape. On a standard cassette, such as these cassettes here. So anyway, I've had an interest in Muzak systems, and so I've been looking up Muzak stuff online, and this was one of the decks that I ran into. So I hope you enjoyed this little overview of this ancient 80s technology, and I think this thing was probably made well. I think it was just well used, we shall say. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and if this excites you, check out my channel for more exciting vintage electronics from all over the place. And subscribe and share with a friend. Have a good day.